Let's begin with the big story from Pakistan. The Islamabad High Court says the arrest of former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan is legal. The court said that all legal formalities were fulfilled by the National Accountability Bureau. The court's ruling has not gone down well with the supporters of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party. Imran Khan is the chief of the PTI. PTI supporters insist that the arrest is illegal. Imran Khan will not be taken to the Islamabad court today. The scheduled hearing will take place at the location where he is in custody. Meanwhile, protests are intensifying across several cities of Pakistan, including Lahore, Karachi, Rawalpindi and Peshawar. Some PTI supporters stormed the Pakistani Army headquarters in Rawalpindi. Khan has been arrested in the Al-Qadir Trust case. The Pakistan Telecommunication Authority has suspended mobile broadband across the country. Some regions are facing a total internet shutdown. Mobile broadband services have been reportedly suspended on the directions of Pakistan's Ministry of Interior. India is keeping a close watch on the latest developments in Pakistan. The Indian Army is maintaining a strong vigil along the border with the country. Meanwhile, the United States, United Kingdom and Canada have issued new travel advisories for their citizens. The US has announced a travel alert for Americans in Pakistan. The UK has urged its citizens in Pakistan to avoid large gatherings. Canada has urged diplomatic staff to exercise a high degree of caution. The Indian state of Karnataka is going to polls. The major political parties contesting are the BJP, Congress and JDS. The voting for 224 assembly constituencies has begun. More than 53 million people are eligible to vote in over 58,000 polling stations set up across the state. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for a high voter turnout in the state. Shifting focus now to the war in Ukraine, Russia's Wagner mercenary group's chief has said that he has been told to either keep his troops in Bakhmut or be branded a traitor. He added that the problem of the lack of ammunition is being solved. However, the shipment has been slashed. Wagner's chief has said that Russia has given only 10% of the ammunition that was asked for and that the troops feel deceived. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that the United States will provide a new defense package. The package will be worth over $1 billion. It will include artillery and defense against missiles and drones. Earlier, the US said that the new package will include funds for training. In the fiscal year of 2023, the Department of Defense has provided $5 billion in security assistance to Ukraine so far. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko skipped a lunch hosted by Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on Victory Day. Reports say that Lukashenko looked tired, had unsteady feet, and a bandage was visible on his right hand. This sparked speculation of him being unwell. In the past 2 weeks, Lukashenko has appeared at two public events. At one of them, his voice was hoarse. Lukashenko is a close ally of Putin. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has given public workers a 45% pay rise. This comes as Turkey gears up for elections. Erdogan has said that the government will continue to work on raising minimum wage for civil servants. The upcoming election is being seen as the toughest political test for Erdogan. He's been facing criticism for the economic crisis in the country. He has also faced flack over a slow response to the devastating earthquakes that Turkey faced in February. In the US, jurors have concluded that former President Donald Trump sexually abused American journalist E. Jean Carroll in the 1990s. He also defamed her by calling her a liar. The 9-member jury in Manhattan also awarded Carroll $5 million in compensation. The jury deliberated for 3 hours before rejecting Trump's denial that he assaulted Carroll. Authorities in the US state of Texas have said that the gunman who killed people at a Dallas shopping mall followed a neo-Nazi ideology. However, he appeared to have singled out his victims randomly without considering their race, age, or sex. The victims included 3 children. The gunman had opened fire with an AR-15 style rifle. The police had shot the suspect. Migrants continue to make their way to the US-Mexico border. This comes as an anti-COVID policy which prevented asylum applications is coming to an end after 3 years. The policy, known as Title 42, will expire on Thursday. Migrants have been living in makeshift plastic tents at the border as they wait to cross into the United States. In Kenya, more bodies have been discovered in the starvation cult case. The country's interior minister has described them as victims of a highly organized crime. Meanwhile, the cult leader, Paul Mackenzie, remains in police custody. He's been accused of ordering his followers to starve so they go to heaven before the world ends. He told his followers that the world would end on April 15th. Indonesian President Joko Widodo has said that the ASEAN can be a central player in bringing regional peace if there is unity among the members. Over the next 2 days, ASEAN leaders will hold discussions on issues of common concern. The ongoing political tensions in Myanmar will dominate the discussions. ASEAN has been pushing the ruling junta to implement a 5-point peace consensus. Myanmar's generals have been barred from attending high-level ASEAN meetings until progress has been made in the country. Sri Lanka's Supreme Court has cleared the path for decriminalizing homosexuality. The court has ruled that a bill seeking to decriminalize homosexuality is not inconsistent with the Constitution. This has paved the way for a parliamentary debate and vote on the issue. The United Arab Emirates has said that countries should agree to phase out fossil fuel emissions, but not the production of oil, gas and coal. This is for the upcoming United Nations climate change negotiations which will be held in December. The UAE Minister of Climate Change and Environment favored phasing out fossil fuel emissions using capture and storage technologies. She also called for ramping up renewable energy. South and South Asian nations are facing heat waves. In Thailand's Bangkok, the highest temperature reached 41 degrees Celsius. Bangladesh's Dhaka faced the highest temperature since the 1960s. Vietnam registered 44.1 degrees Celsius, the highest temperature on record. Climate change is likely to worsen the frequency, intensity, and impacts of extreme weather events. Scientists have discovered microbes that can digest plastic at low temperatures. These microbes have been discovered in the Alps and the Arctic. It has been seen as a valuable tool for recycling. Microorganisms that could digest plastic at temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius had already been found. Using them is not considered carbon neutral. However, the latest study has found microbes can do the same at 15 degrees Celsius. Satellite data has revealed that methane leaks from Turkmenistan's 2 fossil fuel fields caused more global heating last year than the entire carbon emissions of the UK. Methane emissions have increased at an alarming rate since 2007. Researchers say that the latest leak seriously risks triggering catastrophic climate tipping points. At least 21 people have been killed due to wildfires in Russia's Ural Mountains. Medical officers warn that the tally is likely to increase. Hundreds of houses have been destroyed. Evacuation operations are underway. Russia's forests have been facing wildfires for a long time now. However, their intensity has grown in recent years. American media conglomerate Paramount Global will reportedly cut 25% of its workforce. The job cuts will impact its subsidiaries Showtime, MTV Entertainment Studios, and Paramount Media Networks. As a result of the move, MTV's news unit will also be shut down. The company has blamed its move on weak economic conditions. The company's announcement comes after it reported dour first quarter earnings last week. Meanwhile, American biotech company Novovax is also laying off 25% of its workforce. The company has said that the move will help reduce costs. Its cost reduction plan also includes measures to merge its several facilities and infrastructure. This will reportedly cut the company's costs by 40 to 50%. The decision comes despite the company forecast better than expecting revenue for 2023. A report has found that bonus compensations for investment bankers are expected to fall in 2023. The report has been drafted by a US-based compensation consultant, Johnson Associates. It says that bonuses for the executives would be cut by the biggest proportion ever. They are forecast to shrink by 10 to 20%. The report adds that the banking crisis has sharply divided the outlook of compensation between large and regional banks. SVB Financial Group has said that it will delay the release of its quarterly earnings report. The company will be unable to meet the US markets regulator's deadline for the announcement. Reports say its limited staff is working to explore business strategies for the remaining business post-bankruptcy. SVB Financials was the parent company of Silicon Valley Bank. It declared bankruptcy in March. A former employee of US-based cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase Global has been sentenced to 2 years in prison. Ishan Wahi, ex-product manager at Coinbase, has been accused of insider trading. Wahi allegedly shared confidential information with his brother and his friend. He has been accused of sharing details about digital assets that would be listed on the exchange. This is reportedly the first insider trading case involving cryptocurrency. Amazon is reportedly planning to open new warehouses and hire more people in Europe. The expansion is part of Amazon's push to increase efficiency by cutting delivery distances. The company expects to do this by making its fulfillment centers more automated. This comes at a time when the company has been carrying out mass layoffs to cut costs globally. US retail giant Walmart is seeking to enter Mexico's Fintech sector. In April, Walmart's Mexico unit bought a payments app, Trafalgar. The unit aims to implement Trafalgar's services in its own digital payments app, Cashi. Walmart executives believe that the deal would unlock Cashi's potential. However, analysts say that Walmart's step is strewn with potential pitfalls. This is because of the massive competition within the sector. Twitter users will now be able to make calls and use encrypted messaging services on the platform. Owner Elon Musk tweeted the details of the new features on the platform. Musk added that a version of the encrypted direct messages will be available on the platform starting Wednesday. This is part of Musk's plans for Twitter 2.0, the Everything app. Meanwhile, US judges have dismissed 2 separate lawsuits against Twitter. The first lawsuit accused Twitter of targeting female employees for layoffs, while the second accused the social media company of discriminating against disabled workers. The judges said that both the lawsuits were devoid of basic information. However, they've allowed the amendment of the lawsuits to add more relevant details. The European Union is drafting new cybersecurity rules. These cyber rules will regulate cloud service providers like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. It'll help vouch for the cybersecurity of these cloud services. Under the new rules, companies will be able to secure an EU security label only through a joint venture with an EU-based company. Moving on to sports now, Mumbai Indians demolished Royal Challengers Bangalore by 6 wickets on Tuesday. The match was played at Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium. Star batsman Surya Kumar Yadav hammered 83 of 35 balls as Mumbai completed a stiff 200-run chase in 16.3 overs. Mumbai's Nehal Vadera also completed his half-century. The MI bowlers produced a good comeback as well. They helped their side recover from Glenn Maxwell and Faf du Plessis' onslaught and restricted RCB to 199 runs. MS Dhoni-led Chennai Super Kings will face off against the Delhi Capitals on Wednesday evening. The match will be played at Chennai's M.A. Chidambaram Stadium. CSK have had an impressive season so far. On the other hand, DC seem to have found some late momentum after a horrible start. Second place CSK need to be wary since Delhi will come into this match having won 4 of their last 5 matches. The match will begin at 7:30 p.m. IST. Indian cricket team opener KL Rahul has undergone a successful surgery on his right thigh. Following the surgery, Rahul has been ruled out for the rest of this year's IPL and the upcoming World Test Championship final. The 31-year-old got injured while fielding during an IPL match. The All India Senior Selection Committee has named Ishan Kishan as Rahul's replacement in the WTC final squad. Argentines are urging football great Lionel Messi to return to Barcelona to finish out his career where it all began. This is after French media reported that Messi's move to Saudi Arabia was a quote-unquote done deal. The oil-rich nation appointed Messi its tourism ambassador last year, and he visited Jeddah in May 2022. He returned in January this year to play a friendly match against his great rival Cristiano Ronaldo. Meanwhile, 5-time Ballon d'Or winner Cristiano Ronaldo is looking to return to Real Madrid months after joining Saudi club Al Nassr. Spanish media says Real are willing to offer Ronaldo a non-playing role as an ambassador. Ronaldo's partner, Georgina Rodriguez, is also said to be yearning for a return to the Spanish capital where the couple met. Holders Real Madrid and Manchester City drew 1-1 in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final in Madrid late Tuesday evening. Manchester City midfielder Kevin De Bruyne powered home a rasping low shot from a distance in the 67th minute to earn his side a 1-1 draw. Earlier, Vinicius Jr. netted a brilliant curling strike from the edge of the area that flew into the top right corner in the 36th minute. The second leg will be played on May 17th. Inter's Simone Inzaghi has said that they'll need their heads on straight to take down AC Milan in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final. Inzaghi's comments come ahead of his side's bid to overturn a losing Champions League record against their familiar foes. Inter's last meeting with Milan in the Champions League semi-finals came 20 years ago in the 2002-2003 season. Milan beat them en route to a 6th European title. French sprinter Halba Diouf feels she's being marginalized and hounded after her dream of participating at next year's Paris Olympics was shattered. This as World Athletics banned transgender women from elite female competitions. In March, WA's council cut the maximum amount of plasma testosterone for DSD athletes in half to 2.5 nanomoles per liter from 5. Transgender sportspersons across the world are slamming the sports body's latest move, which they say reeks of exclusivity and humiliation. 43-year-old Eric Lira has become the first individual to be charged under U.S. Rodchenkov Act. It's a federal law that allows criminal charges against doping conspirators at events involving U.S. athletes, broadcasters, and sponsors. Lira had previously pleaded not guilty. He could face as much as 10 years in prison, but would likely get less under his plea agreement. The mast broke on one of the boats competing in the ocean race on Tuesday, as several gales over 45 knots hit the fleet. Team Europe dismasted in the North Atlantic Rhode Island, just over 600 miles east of Newport. They were the second crew to dismast in leg 4 of the ocean race. Team Holcim PRB, which won the first 2 legs, were forced to retire after their mast broke earlier in the leg. Princess Diana's iconic Swan Lake suit necklace is set to hit a New York auction block on June 27th. The diamond and pearl necklace was worn by Diana at her final public appearance in 1997. It was a gala opening for Swan Lake at London's Royal Albert Hall. According to auctioneers, the necklace is likely to attract bids of over $10 million. Jennifer Lopez is set to bring the action in her new Netflix film, The Mother. She's playing an assassin who comes out of hiding in the remote wilderness to protect the daughter from vengeful criminals. Actress Lucy Pace is playing the role of Lopez's daughter in the flick. The Mother begins streaming on Netflix on May 12th. Warner Brothers has set a date to return to the world of Beetlejuice. The studio has carved out September 8, 2024 for Beetlejuice 2. The new offering will be the long gestating sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 feature that starred Michael Keaton as the titular ghost. The film will also reunite Burton with his Wednesday star, Jenna Ortega. Pedro Pascal will star in New Line's Weapons from the filmmakers behind 2022's acclaimed breakout hit Barbarian. The project is from writer-director Zach Cregger, who will also produce alongside his Barbarian producing team. Pascal is hot off the success of the highest-rated HBO series ever, The Last of Us, and Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Paramount Pictures' Transformers film franchise has switched gears in the latest installment. It's adding more diversity to its lead roles. The film is the 7th installment in the series based on the popular Hasbro toys and is a sequel to Bumblebee. The film arrives in theaters worldwide on June 9th. Amazon Prime Video has announced the launch date of their mythical coming-of-age comedy, I'm a Virgo. The series stars Emmy-winning actor Jarrell Jerome from When They See Us and Moonlight. The upcoming series is created, written, directed, and executive produced by Boots Riley. I'm a Virgo will premiere on Prime Video on June 23rd. A picture of Christopher Nolan is circulating on Twitter where he could be seen lending his support to the WGA strike. In the picture, he stood alongside his brother Jonathan Nolan. The brothers held their banners in hand with Writers Guild of America on strike written on them. The duo was photographed outside the Paramount Pictures studio in Los Angeles. The Writers Guild of America initiated a writers' strike on May 2nd, seeking better treatment and payment to the scribes. A California judge has thrown out key sections of Marilyn Manson's lawsuit against his former fiancée, actor Evan Rachel Wood. Manson had alleged that she fabricated public allegations that he sexually and physically abused her during their relationship. Several women have sued Manson in recent years with allegations of sexual and other abuse. Most suits have been dismissed or settled, including a suit filed by Game of Thrones actor Esme Bianco. Dolly Parton has announced the release date for her first ever rock album, Rockstar. The sprawling 30-track album features a slew of all-star collaborations. It features artists including Sir Elton John, Sting, Sir Paul McCartney, and Sir Ringo Starr. The album is due for release on November 17, 2023. Canadian rapper Tory Lanez has been denied a retrial by a judge on Tuesday. This after he was found guilty by a Los Angeles jury of shooting fellow artist Megan Thee Stallion. Lanez shot Megan in both of her feet after an argument in 2020. He will now be sentenced in the case on June 13th. Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, needed surgery to remove bullet fragments in her feet.